Usually no rain. We just got, hey friends, welcome to the Gardener's Workshop live shopping show. Look what I'm holding, y'all. I'll tell you about that in just a minute because today's show is all about summer flowers and we are highlighting Cosmos. They're a wonderful late summer and fall edition, and I will be talking more about these. I will be demonstrating the small soil blocker today, and guess what? Yes, I sow Cosmos into the small soil blocker. In addition, the deal of the day is 20% off all the Cosmos seeds, and we have quite a few, and I've got several of them to show you today. We're also going to be doing our live giveaway for one lucky live viewer, and then at the end of the show I'll wrap it up with a little Q&A. And if you have an answer for me, if you have an answer for me, y'all, I'm just overheated. If you have a question for me, you can just post it in the comments by putting @Lisa and then whatever your comment is, and the team will pick up a couple of those for me to answer at the end of the show. Now, before we get started, I would love for you to hit the share button, let your friends know you're here, invite them to come on over. We have so many new people every week, and I know it's because of you guys. Y'all are just out there sharing all about it. So I also wanted to let you know that I have a free new resource, 3 foolproof steps to success with cool flowers. It's like the 3 things that I get questions about all the time. So over on our website, thegardenersworkshop.com, it's at the top of every page, and you just click on it and it's going to sign you up for our newsletter, which you need to be in that loop, and that will get you, we will automatically email you that webinar. It's about 30 minutes long, I think. And friends, it's that time of year, tick tock, tick tock. All right, so before we get going with the show, a little bit of housekeeping. Please double check your emails and your phone number that's here inside the app when you registered. When you place an order, check that out because we have a lot of typos going on, and then we can't send you tracking tickets and that kind of stuff. So check that for us. Remember that here inside the app, we offer free shipping on seed packet only orders. That means if you just order seeds, the shipping is on us, and we love doing that for you guys. In addition to that, we have a cap on product shipping. You pay $9.95 once, no matter how many products you buy, and it's just $9.95 shipping, and we ship to all 50 of the United States. Now, if you are, I'll let you have those, sister. Now, if you have, if you're watching this on social media, I am so glad you've dropped in with us, you know, if you're on Instagram or Facebook. But what I'd like for you to know is that we have a free phone app. Why do you want the app? It is so different, y'all. When you have the app on your phone, it's easier to use. It's a better experience. You can shop anytime. You can watch replays. You can make favorites lists. You can just, there's a lot of things that you can do, but I think one of the funnest things is you can actually converse with the other live viewers through the comments when you're in the app, and that's always a lot of fun. So if you go to put a product in your cart and it says, sorry, out of stock, would you like to get on the wait list? You might want to do that because oftentimes the team is trying to bring stock over from our big website for those things that seem to be hot products that week. So that just means you get a little notification. And if you're seeing people post the sunflower emoji, if you're inside the app and you can see all the comments going on, folks post that sunflower emoji to identify themselves as part of the TGW family, y'all. Those are our students. Those are people that have taken our online courses, and we just absolutely love that they're part of our family and they're shouting it out, right? So friends, we have a giveaway, and I'm giving away another $25 store credit. And this is a favorite. I mean, that's the best, right? You can pick what it is that you want to have for a freebie. So one lucky live viewer is going to get this. And so just hit that buy button. You're not buying anything, y'all. That just puts you on the list that I'm going to pull from at the end of the show. Now, y'all, I will have to tell you that I've been looking in the Cut Flower Handbook because I'm working on a project, This is just like a powerful reference tool. So this is my newest book, the Cut Flower Handbook, that features over 66 different flowers. But friends, more than that, the first 2 sections in the book, the first section is all about how a cutting garden works and how to figure out, everybody listen up, how you figure out when you plant warm season tender annuals and when you plant cool season hardy annuals. I mean, it even has places for you to write your dates and stuff in. Y'all, that's the secret to really succession planting, to see that answers your question, is it too late? Helps you to figure it all out. So this is the Cut Flower Handbook. It is hardback. It's 240 pages. And it is jam-packed with, I spilled my beans in here, y'all. Everything is in there. All right. Then we have Vegetables Love Flowers, and I was just talking about this with a follower the other day. Vegetables Love Flowers is not about growing vegetables. It's about growing a cutting garden. But this really has a strong emphasis on the way that I garden and farm, meaning without pesticides, how I kind of handle problems, but it also is why are flowers so important to vegetables, and how all the good stuff that flowers bring to your garden, meaning who does it invite, those creatures that come in. So Vegetables Love Flowers. I would love to sign all of my books that leave from us. I sign each and every one of them. Vegetables Love Flowers also has a video book study that comes with it. That's a great summer read, you know. That's a great one to take to the beach with you. And then friends, did you know this is the 10-year anniversary? Literally, Suzanne and I were, wasn't it September when we were at Mother Earth News 2014 near Pittsburgh, where my publisher was, and he brought this to that show when we were there. So 10-year anniversary of Cool Flowers, the book that started it all. This is the jumping off point for anybody that is not familiar with growing cool season hardy annuals and all they bring to your flower farm and to your cutting garden. This is the very earliest spring bloomers and some of the most beloved bells of Ireland and sweet peas and snaps. How all of us can grow them, y'all. It's just that we plant them at different timing, and that's the hook. That's the problem. This helps you to figure that out and can start that journey. And this also comes with a video book study. All right, so let's talk about, is it too late to plant or is it not? It's not too late to plant for most of us. And so I'm just going to give you a little overview of how you can figure that out. So we're talking about annuals, right? So first you need to know what the days to maturity are for the flower that you're thinking about growing. That information is normally on a seed pack. And if it's not, then you need to search engine that, whatever variety you're looking at, and days to maturity. What that means is the day from starting the seed to when it normally blooms. And there's a little wiggle room there. Then you need to take that information, and then you need to sit down with the calendar, y'all. This is literally how we do it. Sit down with the calendar. When is your first expected fall frost? Ours is mid-November. So then I would count back, let's just say 90 days is whatever flower. I would count back 3 months. Well, where is that? Oh, wow, we still have a month before that happens. And then you want to actually add on a little bit of time so you have time to cut the flowers before frost takes them, right? It's really that simple. You just have to use some common sense. So here are some examples of cut flowers you may still be able to plant now. Pro-cut sunflowers are 50 to 60 days from seed to bloom, as well as Sunfill sunflowers and Vincent's sunflowers. Then in the 60 to 70 days to maturity, we have Limelight Millet, Highlander, and Lowlander grasses. Grasses, y'all. Who doesn't need more grasses for fall markets? Then we have 65 to 75 days. That's green drop grass and y'all, so many amaranths. There are so many amaranth varieties, and I have some to show you today. Amaranth grows much quicker in the fall when the days start to shorten, so it is a great one. Then also for 75 to 90 days to till maturity, we have marigolds and zinnias, and we don't pinch when we plant at this time of the year. You want them to just get up and going, right? Then 85 to 100 days, we have basils and cosmos. 90 to 95 days. Most of the Celosia plumosas, those will be really great. So it really just depends on when is your first frost date, right? So let's talk about some of those cosmos. So did you know that cosmos are native to Mexico? They love it hot, they love it dry, and they'll take the humidity. That's one of the reasons that we just really love growing cosmos. In addition, they're just kind of like this light, airy, wiry, just nice, refreshing. It's kind of like that peppermint patty effect, right? Those types of blooms. And I literally right now have a big bouquet on my dining room table of just cosmos. But they also are a great addition to your actual bouquets, and they come in a vast number of colors, of some which I'm going to show you here today. Rubenza, which we have, is my favorite fall one, and the color is fabulous, along with cranberries, the double click cranberry for fall. I mean, they're like the perfect color. And I do plant them in small blocks, much to most people's surprise, and they do absolutely fabulous. And I'm going to be showing you how I do that here pretty in just a second. And they are pretty fast growing seedlings also. So be ready, have the spot prepared to plant them. We plant them when they're 2 to 3 weeks old. And y'all, flower support netting is crucial for cosmos. The downpour that we had this morning, if those cosmos hadn't been netted, it would have just laid them all down. They're tall, and they have a heavy canopy. And so overwatering and over-fertilizing can result in foliage only. They will not ever bloom. So don't overfeed your soil before you plant them. And I, as a general rule, just don't even fertilize them. Once they get out of the tray, they get fertilized maybe once in the tray, but after that, no food for them. They just don't need it. And we harvest them just as you can see the petals, but they haven't opened yet. And we like to harvest those early in the day just to give them that extra boost. And I have found that the double varieties like Double Click and Fizzy, they just last longer than the single petaled ones. They just have a little bit more substance. And they are a favorite of butterflies and bees. I mean, the bees and the wasps and the butterflies on our Cosmo bed is pretty fabulous. So they're just a lot of fun to grow. And it's kind of nice. They're actually really sweet this time of the year when it might be really hot where you are. And guess what? That's the deal of the day. All of our Cosmo seeds are 20% off until Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as long as they're in stock. That is not available on our website. It's just here in the app, okay? So now I'm gonna make a tray of small blocks, and I'm gonna sow some Cosmos to show you actually how I do that. So this is the ready-made blocking mix that we love so much. We just added, we're getting our camera adjusted, y'all.
Somebody didn't put it in far enough down. Here we go.
All right.
All right, you're good.
So now this is the wet ready-made mix. It's 3 parts of the ready-made mix to 1 part water. It's got everything it needs to start. This is the small blocker. And I'm just gonna push it down. I usually push it down twice to get nice full chambers. This is a potato masher, y'all. I find that to be the best tool for striking it off. And so this is one of those trays that I've told y'all about. We use them over and over again. This is the foam tray. I prefer flat bottom, no drainage hole trays. And then I'm just depressing the plunger. And let's make another set here. So I'm just pushing it down and pushing it down. And again, you're not packing the chambers, but you want them to all be nice, firm little blocks. And there they are. All right, now I am going to sew these blocks. So that is 40 blocks on this little 5x8 or so tray. Not much space, right? And I'm gonna plant in this block, and they are gonna grow up in this block, y'all. So let's take a look. Is it lined up right? I mean, I can't see. All right, y'all, so I dump the seeds into my hand, and I'm just going to do a few here. Can you see? Oh, cool. All right, so this is the 5x7. That's 40 plants, 40 blocks. And you can see these seeds. They're like little spears. It really does not matter which end you put in first, but I will tell you that the pointiest end is the easiest to push in. So I'm just picking up a seed and just pushing it down in. It is literally that easy. And I'll tell you a tip, and I only say this because I saw somebody asking this question on social media the other day. They asked if they could make all their blocks on one day, then go back and sow seeds days later. And I don't like to do that. We basically make several trays of blocks, and then we stop and sow them, because when these blocks are nice and moist, like they are right now from just being made, the seeds just simply, I'm pushing it, I'm placing it, pointy end down, and then I'm just pushing it. The tail is still sticking out, and that is perfectly fine. And that is all it takes to sow Cosmos seeds. And y'all, it's kind of fun. I don't want to stop. Do one more. So I'm just picking it up, putting it in my fingers, kind of pointing it in, and then I'm just pushing it home. And literally, that is sowing Cosmos seeds. Now, these will just follow every other method of seed starting. It'll go to seedling heat mat, then it'll go to a grow light, and it'll get hardened off to go outdoors. Now, let me show you our customer favorite on...
Do you want to stay down?
I think I should go up.
Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah, so wait a minute while we adjust our camera. So y'all, we all think about our new set. We just have this really, we feel so spoiled having all this great storage and really pretty display behind us. And I mean, we're just barely, we have stuff that's still spread everywhere in here. We haven't even really moved in, so we're super excited. So the Soil Block Maker Kit is definitely the top seller. It has always been our top seller, even on our website. So what the kit includes is a bag of the ready-made mix. This makes about 500 to 600 of those small blocks, right? So this has everything you need. So it comes, and that's a 6-quart bag. It includes my Seed Starting Made Easy online course. Friends, this course shows you how to direct sow outside, how to start seeds indoors using soil blocking, taking you through that whole process, how to start sunflowers and plug trays, how to use the commercial Swift blocker. It is all in the course, and that comes with the kit. You also get your choice of either 3 cool season seeds or 3 warm season seeds. You select when you're actually checking out. It also includes the small blocker, which is the one that I use most of the time. And it includes what we call, is this the large tray?
Yeah.
This is called the large tray. This holds 3 sets of 20. So one of these reusable foam trays will hold 60 soil blocks. Has the seed pan. It has the toothpick and toothpick dispenser, and it has little wooden plant tags. All of this you get for $89.95, and all of these items are sold separately in the app. You get the bag and all of this stuff, y'all. This has everything that you need to actually soil block. Am I putting stuff over here? Okay. And so you can, this is the blocker kit maker. All right, now, if you want a kit, but you don't want ready-made soil, you want to make your own soil at home, we have what's called the DIY Soil Block Maker Kit that comes with the small blocker and the DIY Nutrient. This is simply green sand powder and rock phosphate powder mixed together. Those are the nutrients that seeds need to sprout. And so we mix them together, and it has the recipe. You add your compost and your peat moss or cocoa fiber, sift them both, Add those to this, and this will make 6 recipes, and 1 recipe is about equal to one of those ready-made bags. So 1 recipe makes about 500 of those little blocks. So it's really easy to use. So this is the DIY Nutrient, the soil block maker, and the seed pan. This is special because no static cling, y'all. You can't imagine how much it helps. It's $49.95 for that kit. Now, if you just want the blocker, you can get that too. You know, these are made in England. We import them from the sisters. It's sisters that own that company too. And super weird. We have a special relationship with them because of that. You know, we're kind of connected. So this is the Ladbroke Soil Blocker, and it is $39.95. And this is the one I use most of the time, only when that seed won't fit in here because it's so space savvy and makes such good use of the soil. Now, speaking of sifting your soil, this is our soil sifter. Y'all, this fits perfectly on a 5-gallon bucket. Do you know what that means? It is so quick and easy to use. Totally love this. It's the 1/4-inch screen. And this is $24.95, and it will change your life. We sift everything. It just makes it so much easier. Now, I told you that, mentioned that tray that we just showed you is reusable foam, and I'm going to show you these different sizes. But friends, we use these trays over and over again. You can tell from the end there, this is probably the 4th or 5th use of this particular tray. It does need a little bubble bath. But these are not intended to be disposable foam trays. So this is the mini. This is $1.95 for 5 of these. They're 5 1/4 inches square. This holds 1 set of 20, which is really, that's what we start our tomatoes in. Then this is the small. This is the one that holds 2 sets of 20. And each of these is a 5-pack. This is $2.95, or you can even get a 25-pack for $12.95. And then this is the one that comes in the kit. This is the large. It holds 3 sets of 20. A 5-pack is $3.95, or a 25-pack is $15.95. I can't tell you how useful it is to have trays that actually fit the number of blocks that you're using. That helps you to make the most out of your heat mat and your grow light real estate. That's premium space, y'all. You do not want 1 inch to not have a plant in it. And I use them all. I use so many different size trays. Now, I mentioned earlier Seedlin heat mat. So here it is. This heat mat will actually hold let's try it. I think it's 3 you could squeeze 4 of any of those long trays. So if you can get 3 on here of the extra of the large, what we call the large tray, that's 180 plants, y'all. That's a lot of blocks. This has a built-in thermostat. It controls the heat based on the air temperature, and this is $39.95. And if you need the bigger one, like if you're a commercial grower, we do have a larger one over on our website. Now, we have 2 of the sweetest little watering cans. I'm going to show you the sweetest one first. This is the Espresso watering can, and it only holds 2 cups of water. This is really sweet to keep it out with your African violets, to use it to water your soil blocks, and it's just as pretty as it can be. It's stainless steel. My sister loves to use it as a vase. It's super cute. It's $29.95, and this has become a customer favorite. This will be a really great gift. I actually saw a Christmas tree commercial yesterday. The Balsam, whatever that is, those people, they're like, okay, it's under 6 months to Christmas. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, Espresso watering can is just the best. Here's the one that I love using in my grow room. This one is our stainless steel watering can, and this one has an extra long spout. I'll tell you what Bobo uses this for. This is the watering can she uses to fill flower arrangements. Think about arrangements after you get them all made and then you need to add water. This long spout is so helpful. This holds 4 cups of water. It's stainless steel, and it's $24.95. Really love this one, and if you were here for the open farm, you saw this one in my grow room. Really love that one. Now, a part of seed starting, no matter what method you're using, is fungus gnats, friends. And so this is the mosquito bits, which is that BT that we just sprinkle this according to directions in our watering can once a week. Wednesdays are my days. Sprinkle it in, and then when you water your normal watering chores, that prevents, well, it eliminates any developing larvae in your moist soil. If you're starting seeds and you have houseplants in your house, you need to treat them also. Anything that has moist soil. So this goes in my watering can on Wednesdays. Then the kit also includes the yellow sticky traps. This attracts and traps the adults that are flying around, that prevents them, then they won't be able to lay more eggs. The combination of both of these is $19.95, and you can purchase them separately here in the app if you need them. We practice prevention for fungus gnats because if you get an outbreak, it just makes you kind of crazy. So that is just one of the steps that we follow all the time. So that's on Wednesdays. On Mondays in my grow room, everybody gets a drink of seaweed fish fertilizer. So I follow the house plant. House plants. On here, it's 1 tablespoon to a gallon. I just add this to my watering can on Monday mornings. So it's no real extra work. You just have it wherever you keep your watering can. Shake it well. It's kind of stinky, but it grows incredible seedlings. And then I also use this out in my garden. You can foliar feed with it. You can do a soil drench. We really love Neptune's Harvest seaweed fish, and that is $15.95. Now, as we are preparing to start preparing more beds, as we're getting ready for cool flowers, not quite yet, but we're getting all of our peas in a row. This is the dry organic fertilizer that we use. This is the 4-pound bag. It's $14.95. Shipping on all of this stuff is $9.95, y'all. You only pay that once. So you can read more about this. This is 543. You know, when you use organic fertilizers, y'all, you are feeding and building your soil, and then your soil is taking better care of your plants. This is at the root of our success because we just apply this at every bed turn. And 3 pounds, this is a 4-pound bag, 3 pounds to 100 square feet, and that's about 7.5 cups. So it's really easy. It's pellets that you can, super easy to actually put down by hand. And friends, thinking about cool flower beds, cool flowers, we would never have made it this far with cool flowers if I had not learned about the biodegradable film, which is just such a great weed suppressor, particularly during winter when all those cool season weeds just really grow rampant like chickweed. So this is the Bio 360. You can see I've been practicing doing holes. It comes with a light side and a dark side. When we make summer beds, we always put the light side up, y'all, so that we cool the surface down so we don't toast seedlings, right? But when we're making our fall planted beds that are going to go through winter with little baby plants in them, or they're waiting to be planted for very early spring, we make the black side up. Now this comes in a couple of different sizes. It comes in a 50-foot piece, a 1-pack for $24.95, or a 6-pack of the 50s for $119.95. Or we now have added 100-foot pieces. You can get a 1-pack for $39.95 or a 3-pack for $110.95. So this is totally biodegradable, meaning you can incorporate it into your soil or you can mulch on top of it and it just breaks down. Why do I love it so much? Because it blocks the light from getting to your soil surface where all the weed seeds are. It just totally squishes so much of your weed pressure. It just prevents it from ever happening. I definitely attribute our being able to scale our farm to actually using the biodegradable film. Now this is the tool that Bobo uses to poke holes in the Bio 360. It's really easy to poke a hole in. This is actually a dandelion weeder. A screwdriver also works. This is $7.95, and this is a really handy little tool to have around. Now, as we're heading into planting season, labeling and marking what you actually are growing is really useful. So this is a bundle we've made. It's the label and marker bundle. It's $22.32. Isn't that a funny number? Label those cosmos, because let me tell you, you will forget what the heck you've planted. This comes with 10 of the 18-inch and 10 of the 12-inch. And it includes my very favorite garden marker, which is waterproof and UV resistant. And it's about a little bit more than 22 bucks. And here is a testimony to our marker. This come in September. This is 2 years old. This was out in the garden for at least 16 months, exposed to the UV rays, and you can still read it. It's Royal Mix. I just love that pen. It is just the actual best. Now, if you're going to net those Cosmos, this is the netting that we use. And we're having a lot of fun here. I keep knocking stuff off the table with this netting. So this is the netting that you're going to net your Cosmos with for sure. You just suspend it above the bed using garden stakes. We have videos on the product that you can watch. It's plastic. We reuse it from year to year. It's available in a 20-foot piece. It's 36 inches wide. It comes in 20 feet for $11.95 or 36 by 50 feet for $21.95. Now, if you're a flower farmer, we have larger sizes available over on our website, even the big 3,000-foot plus roll over there. So it's super easy to install, and your flowers, if you put it in at the right time, y'all, and your flowers grow through, it makes life a whole lot easier, and you have a lot of flowers. All right, now Suzanne's handing these to me now. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to turn it over to my sister. So we definitely use the CVBN tablets. These are the chlorine tablets, y'all, in all of our harvest buckets. There are some flowers known as the dirty dozen. I mean, we're thinking marigolds, zinnias, sunflowers, all those flowers that really just ooze stuff into the water and really grow bacteria. Bacteria is already present in your water most often. Some type is. And that just fuels it to grow. The CVBN tablets prevents that and delays it in most cases. So a bottle of 80 tablets is $18.95 or 2 bottles for $29.95. We put one of these tablets in every harvest bucket. There are some flowers that don't really need it, but we put it in all of our buckets because it's hard to remember which ones do and which ones don't. It doesn't harm any crop. We even put them in our basil buckets. So CVBN is key for us. It just keeps our water cleaner and adds a couple days of life. And here comes my sis.
Hey folks, so glad you joined us today, and I want to show you our favorite gloves. These gloves we wear on the farm. I wear them at home. You can use them to clean in, you can use them to garden, or just about anything. We have cousins that use these to needlepoint. They're just very, very grippy. This is nitrile, very lightweight, doesn't make your hands really sweaty much. And these are the perfect thing to wear this time of year when it's really warm outside. These come in extra small up to large. I have a large hand for a woman. I can't wear a large glove off the shelf. I have to get extra large. But these are unisex size, so this is a medium. And they do come in a variety of colors, and we'll pick the best color for you. You can get 1 pair for $7.95, or the deal is a 4-pack for $24.95. Have an extra pair on hand. If your dog carries one away, then you'll always have it, but it makes your hands look better, keeps your fingernails clean, and just makes you more productive with these. So be sure to get a pair for you and your friend. Next up, we have the shear and pouch kit. Here is my shear and pouch. We use these on the farm. I use them at home. They're just the best. We will, however, send you new ones. So this is our shear, and these have a great handle, very lightweight, and they're spring loaded, so they're very, very easy on your hand. They'll do big woodies or sunflowers, and of course those little teeny things you can cut with it too. But they are just the best. They're bonsai shears, and we love them. The pouch we use, and when you start using this, you'll wonder why you had waited so long to get one. The pouch clips right on your pocket, so you don't have to wear a belt. And then your clippers are always right at the ready, and you're not going to lay them down in the garden and lose them. We've lost many pairs of shears around here before we started wearing pouches. So keep your pouches safe and you know, your shears safe and get a pouch. So the pouch set is $55.95, and they're available separate in the app, but you do save around $4.95 when you purchase them together. It makes a perfect gift for anyone that likes to work in the yard. Next up, we have our tool belt. Now this tool belt is lightweight. It's kind of a canvas material, but it is waterproof, and it just has a place for you to put your clippers, your waters, your phone, any of those little tools you want to carry around on the farm with you. We do, however, wear it on our back, because if you go to bend over, it is obstructive in the front. So we flip it around to the back, and that way you just turn it around and grab whatever you want out of it and just flip it back. And it doesn't pull your pants down because it comes with its own adjustable strap. It's $22.95 for waist size 28 up to 44, and we love this. Next up is the sod and harvest knife. Now we only have a few of these left. This is the 2.5 inch. It's $9.95, and it's sharp like those Ginsu knives. You see the little, how it's serrated here? It will cut just about anything. We use this to harvest greens, you know, lettuce, or to get stuff off of our tractor. If we get a cord caught up in the mower or twine, this cuts it out great. I use it to cut open bags of mulch when we mulch our yard. It's easier for us to handle bags at home, and it cuts those bags open so easy. Just a great sharp tool to have around. So they're $9.95, super effective for that price for sure. Next up, we have our hat, and again today it's rainy and humid outside. My hair needs a hat. All right, so this is our favorite hat. Lisa and I both wear these out in the garden, and it protects you so many ways. First of all, it's hard as a rock. I've fallen off a ladder with this on and dented it, and my head was not dented. So it is very helpful in that manner. Water rolls right off, which is perfect for the rainy day that is today. But it is adjustable here, so even Lisa's big head will fit in this hat. And you can adjust it, and you can see there's a gap in between here. That's because the air flows up and over your head. It's like carrying around an umbrella or a shade tree with you. And then this is the little sweatband that is removable and washable to help if you perspire while you're out there. So this hat is just perfect in every manner, $39.95, and it is the cool thing. So get your cool hat when you're planting your cool flowers. All right, next up we have the tick keys. Now, the tick keys are just amazing. I have one in every drawer in the house, and this is for any wiggling animal, child, or husband that gets a tick. And you simply place the head of the tick in there, and you just pull it right over, and it rips him out, head and all. And it's called a key because it has a little hole where you can put it on your keychain, and that way you'll always know where it is. $9.95. Nurses use this at schools. It's just the perfect thing to have around, because ticks are out there, guys. Now we have a returning item, our super cushy kneeling pad. This is 15 by 20 by 2 inches. It is super soft. This is Lisa's. You can see it's a little dirty. She's had it out in the garden. $42.95, and it is lightweight, and it has a handle for you to carry, made in the USA, and perfect to sit on. I mean,
Steve uses it to work on his Harley.
Yeah, Steve works on his Harley with this. I would say you could even take this to the ballpark and put it on a hard bleacher and use it that way too. It's just really soft and cushy, and we love them. $42.95. Get it for everybody you know.
And that's a limited product because
yes. So there's limited quantities, right? Next up, we have our compost bucket. This little bucket, the top fits nice and snug. It does not have a filter because things that you're composting really shouldn't have a smell if you're emptying it out every few days like you should be. But this is nice and tight so that the smell, if there is any, doesn't escape. We also use this for bird seed or any small thing that we want to store. It's $15.95 and is a nice size to just fit right under your sink. Next we have the weather stick. The weather stick, it's made of balsam wood, the same thing they make divining rods out of. Has a little hole in the top, so you know that's the top, and you just put this out on a pole where you can view it from this side, from inside of your house. And when it is fair outside, I have seen this turn up a lot. But when it's foul, or gonna be foul, I've seen it touch the post that it's attached to. So yes, it has stretched all the way around and touched the post it's attached to. This is so much fun for anyone to watch, but if you have anyone like my retired husband who's at home a lot, we have one on the porch and he loves watching this, as do kids.
And remember when we were at Emma's, we saw it, we were visiting her flower farm.
We did. We were just visiting Emma's flower farm. She had one out. And these are how much, Susie? $10.95. Perfect gift for everyone. So the giveaway is $25 to your account. So be sure, if you haven't already hit the buy button, you're not really buying anything, you're just getting on the list, and we'll pick the draw. We'll draw the winner at the end of the show, but you must be present to win. So be sure to hit the buy button to get on the list and stick around so that you can win. All right, next is my sister.
Hey friends, so we're going to do our flowers, and I always start our flower talk off with how we store seeds. We use the desiccant packs. This absorbs moisture. If you keep them cool and give them no moisture, your seeds have a really long life. So this is a 2-pack for $2.95, or you can get a 10-pack for $9.95. So you can have those on hand. This is one of those tools that you're not sure when you're going to use it, but the day that you need it, you want to have it in your drawer. So this is a great one to add to your toolbox. So friends, look at this. I am so in love with this flower. This is a new cool flower. And you can get on the wait list as soon as we get it packaged. This is Tweedia. And this is an incredibly long-lasting, and look at that blue flower. They are just absolutely fabulous. So I invite you, if you want to get notified just as soon as we have them ready. I mean, look at that. They are just so very, very beautiful. So that is an awesome, cool flower. And we're still coming the remnants of the Monarda. This is Monarda lambada. This is one of our very favorite spring fillers. This is where it's bloomed with the pink open. I love using it long before that happens. So it will bloom again. We've cut it back and it'll flush out again. And so this is the hardy annual. It's not a perennial. It will reseed in your garden. So love that. All right, now what's up next? Oh, Sweet William. Let's look, this is my favorite color. This is the Sweet William Amazon. You know, there's different series. This is the Amazon. This is the one that I grow the most of. And this is the purple. I grow it in the other colors, Rose Magic, Lavender Magic, and Cherry. All available here in the app. These are cool flowers. You know, we fall and very early spring plant. I mean, this is just a great color. Super sturdy. It's just a great cash crop. Now, we haven't shown this one this year because the deer ate the stuffings out of it, but I found some. This, my friends, is Atriplex. Atriplex is in the spinach family, so deer really love chowing down. You don't grow it for the little flowers that don't look like much. It's these seed pods that develop after those flowers. And this is an awesome color. This will be hung to dry today. So this is a really great one to use. I mean, I can see wreath work, all kinds of jobs. Kind of running out of room over here, sister. And then this is the green, and it's already started to turn a little bit of that golden color. So this is green Atriplex, and it's the same thing. You just have to protect it from the deer. It's pinchable, it grows super tall, and we just really, really love it. And then look at this, y'all. This is the last of this. This is the Daucus Dara, and I love it after it's gone. This is after it's bloomed out and it's developing seed. I mean, it just, you know, you wouldn't want to put a bunch of those in a bouquet, but one of these in a bouquet is super interesting. So this is the Daucus Dara, and that's what the fresh bloom looks like there. Really love that. And so that, I think for now, is just wrapping up the cool flowers. Now let's move to warm. We have so much Gumphrena right now, y'all. This is the Strawberry Fields. I mean, how much of this could you sell at 4th of July? And you know, all of the Gumpphrenas dry just like they look. That's the strawberry. And this is Carmine. Look at that deep pink. This is a really great one too. Really love that. And then this is the mix that includes both those previous colors you just saw plus this orange. So it has the red Strawberry Fields, the Carmen pink, as well as this orange color. So this is a super sweet color. And these are just great for drying. All right, so this, and we got a great picture of this today, is the Audra. Audra is a series of Gomphrena, and this is what they call the Pastels Mix. So this has that solid pink, white, and the bicolor, all of which are available individually, and I'm getting ready to show you, but you can get them in a mix. This is just really, really a pretty mix. And look how tall this stuff is. It's really a great, I really like the Audra series. And so this is the pink, which is really becoming, what is this? Wait a minute. Oh, this is bicolor, sorry. From the bottom, I thought it was pink. This is the bicolor Audra that's in that mix, but this is the straight color. It's all the bis. Look how pretty that is. Really, really beautiful. Then this is my new favorite Gomphrena. This is Audra Pink. Look at that soft color, y'all. This is just such a great color. There's so many crafts and things that you can actually do with dried flowers, and Gomphrena is a great one. And then look at this Audra White. This is the cleanest white flower ever. It's still a little green inside. Really love that. And I'll tell you that Audra is a lot easier to harvest than most of the others. And then, you know, we've never had enough Ageratum Blue Horizon. Suzanne's secret with this is she usually puts 2 to 3 stems together in a bouquet to give it more bang. And you can just never, everybody loves blue, and it makes everything else look better. And then look at some of these grasses. Now this is a more mature, this is the Limelight Millet when you leave it in the garden and let it develop more. This is awesome for drying, for wreath work, for putting in big vases, you know, behind couches, and it's just really, really beautiful. We planted Limelight every single week when we were in high production. And now I got an example to show you, friends. This is Purple Majesty. And this is not what you should be selling. I've actually seen it this way somewhere before. So I showed, this is actually last week's stems, right? And we cut it when this little bud is only like this far coming out of the leaves. If you put them in bouquets with this kind of maturity, those things were going to develop pollen in no time, and your customer is not going to be very happy because it's going to be all over their tabletop as well as making them sneeze. So Purple Majesty is the best, but you got to harvest it early and learn when you're supposed to harvest. You know, stage to harvest is just so important, y'all. And this is the Asuka Coxcomb. This one is a little frilly. Can y'all see that? It's like it's got cuts in the combs. It's just a very different texture, and it's got a lot of great colors. This is one of those single stems, but we find it's really pretty. It has some great colors, but it's just a nice change. So that is Asuka Coxcomb, which we really love that one. And then here's our big old go-to standard, right, for mixed bouquets. This is the Chief Mix, and it's just those hot colors, the hot colors of summer, right? I mean, stem length, these things are clubs out in the garden, y'all. I cut off probably at least that much stem, if not more. Look at that hot pink color. All of these colors are available separately here inside the app. Here's that pink. This is called Rose. I think it should be called Cotton Candy, frankly. This is one of my favorites. It's not the strongest grower in the series of Chief, but it is so worth it. This with orange is just a great summer flower. Then we have this one, Higyoku, I think it is. And this is like a really great scarlet red and has this darker stem and kind of reddish looking foliage, but it's just a great color. I mean, to have Ageratum, this, and white Gomphrena to mix with other white and red and blue flowers for 4th of July, you'll be rocking the whole world on that. All right, so here's a color I have a love-hate relationship with. This is bicolored. And the bicolor is just, it's very bicolored. There's some solids, and this solid is a little bit different color yellow than the golden yellow that you'll see in a minute. But there's just so much interest in this, right? Look at these. I mean, I want them all to look like this. I think that's just so cool. But sometimes you get the solid ones, so you just need to know that that's pretty normal. That's called Corona, and we love that one. And then if you've been around me very long, you know that orange is my favorite color. So we grow a ton of orange. This is persimmon, chief persimmon. And it, again, all of these just are excellent, strong stems. They dry beautifully, but we try to use them all fresh. And then here's that gold I was telling you about. See, this is more of a golden color than that. Corona is like a paler yellow. This is more gold. And you cannot have enough of this in the fall. One of these for every one of your fall bouquets, along with suns and marigolds and grasses and, oh my goodness, y'all. All right, and then here is the most productive coxcomb I've ever grown. This is red orange, or orange red it's actually called. And it just produces tons of good quality stems. They all do, but this one like smokes the rest of them. So we grew a lot of this when we were in the supermarket bouquet business. This is a really great one. And then, you know, more oranges, y'all. This is a much paler orange. This is Queen, what do they call this? Queen Improved. I'm never sure. They change the names all the time, y'all. That's Queen Improved. So she is definitely a softer. I would definitely not call that salmon, but it is definitely a softer. It's more like a sherbet color. That would be a good name for it. That's a really great one. And it too has super tall stems. And then here's that specialty seed. This is Jura salmon. And we had this seed grown for us. We have limited amounts of it left. We did not have it grown this year. And this is Jura salmon, and this is truly salmon. And they're just incredible quality, really beautiful. That's just a hot color now, right? Now let's look at some Celosia plumes. So this is flamingo feather, and this is kind of a little past when I like to cut it. And this is a great lesson. See how the bottom of this, that is full of seed. You would never sell this. You would never put this in a bouquet, right? Because it would drop seeds, but we're gonna dry this. So that's kind of a nice use of that, but be prepared for seeds to potentially drop. The flamingo feather, it's a spicata. It's a different, it's not a plumosa, and it grows a little differently. And we succession planted, it does awesome. And then look at this tear. Is this not a great fall color? This is Selway terracotta. I love the habit of this plant, super strong brancher. You can pinch it, great stiff. I mean, look, each head is got, that's one stem right there. I love it. And you know, when you're looking at seeds to buy, when you notice some seeds are obviously more expensive than others, those are usually the new hybrids. And friends, those are the kind of qualities that those kinds of plants have. Strong branching, strong necks, strong heads. It's just all those things together. And then another one of my favorites for fall, this is High Z. I love High Z because of the color of the stem, and the foliage has veining in it. And it's just, it's magenta. I just love this over all the other plumosa varieties that have this color. And sometimes it does this. It was actually, it was hybridized from coxcomb. So sometimes you'll get a little bit of that flat head, and that's what I love about it. Really love High Z. And then here's another one that we had grown. This is Texas Plume, and I want to just show you, look at that great color. That is a shrimpy color. We have pink, there's pale pink, there's more kind of salmony colors, and look how big the heads are. Thick the heads are. They fill up bouquets fast. The Texas Plumes grow super tall, like as tall as me, and you know, everything is big in Texas, right? And so the Texas Plumes is another one that we had custom grown, and there is limited amounts of this seed available. If I could only grow one plume, it would be that. It has just such a variety of colors, and it's a big one. But this is another favorite, y'all. This is Sylphid. Look at this color. This is like yellowy, pale yellow green. So it goes with everything. And friends, do not cut this late. This is the perfect stage. It's still really white. There's no seed development. I see it cut late. I mean, so often we see flowers cut way too late. And this is one that shows it. So Sylphid is a really great one. Now, let's look at some of these cosmos that we've been talking about. Look at this, y'all. Oh, amaranth. Where is amaranth? Oh, there we go. Sorry, y'all, I'm jumping ahead. Green tails. Yeah, so we're going to look at the amaranths because it's my first cut. So these are the
Green tails.
Yeah. These are some of the prettiest that I have grown in many years because I got them early. Look at this. This is called green tails. And for many of us, we can still plant these for fall, y'all. And this is what they call a hanging amaranth. And notice we have defoliated it because we have such flea beetles here because of amaranth. The foliage is like lace, and so we always have defoliated it. Susie has become a professional in that way. She defoliates so quick now, it's pretty dadgum amazing. And then look at this one. This is Coral Fountains. Another hanging, but look at that faint color of coral. This is really beautiful. Really, really pretty. And you know, amaranths, I talk a lot about them in the book, the Cut Flower Handbook, about pinching them, and you have to decide, is it worth growing them for you if they really attract a lot of beetles? I can't imagine growing amaranth and dahlias. The pests that amaranth attract here would devour our dahlias. But look at this one. So how do you say that one, Susie? Where is it? Oishberg. Y'all, we love this stuff. Look at the light colored stem. This is really, really beautiful. This is such a great fall crop. And again, amaranths grow faster in the fall. Now we're down to the deal of the day, Cosmos seeds. They're 20% off until Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And look at this, y'all. Is this the biggest haul of, these are double clicks, which I find the doubles tend to last longer. This is the Bonbon, Rose Bonbon. And they are so gorgeous. And y'all, these stems are nothing. We cut off half the stems. And if you didn't have them netted, there'd be no Cosmos. Look how beautiful those are. And this is perhaps my favorite overall color. Oh, wait.
There were mix-ups, so I don't know which one is which.
Okay, wait a minute. No, those aren't anybody's, but there's two. I'm going to pull these out. These are the pinks.
Yeah, I was going to say there's two together. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So this is the bicolored rose. Y'all look at that. I just love this color. It is so beautiful. We had such great germination on this color this year. We've never had so much of it. It is so beautiful. And then this is the bicolored pink, which is just softer. You know, which one are you going to grow for fall? The violet, right? The bicolor. The pink is super sweet. And then always has been one of my favorites is the afternoon white. I mean, I just love white flowers, right? White makes everything pop, and this is no exception. So these are the afternoon whites. They are a single, but if you need a nice white, and they are super tall out in the garden. Now this is the fall Cosmo, y'all. This is Rubenza. Rubenza is our all-time favorite because, I'm trying to find one. I'm just gonna pluck it off so I can show you. So they bloom, it's not gonna pop, it's gonna pull all the way out. They bloom this really dark shade, right? But as they age, they start to turn like a stone-washed pair of blue jeans. They fade, and it just makes them more beautiful. Rubenza along with double click cranberries is the perfect fall crop. I mean, you could sell just straight bunches of those. Now we have straw flowers, which are actually a cool flower, but we grow them all summer long. This is the peach mix, which I think we're out of stock on this seed right now. Hopefully that's in the process. But we've been having these since early summer, right? This is a great fall color. And then look at this one. King size orange, y'all. That is just one of my favorites. We dry a ton of straw flowers. And then this, everything in gold, coxcomb gold. I think straw flowers are one of the most underused, underappreciated flowers. They're great for mixed bouquets. People love them because they'll just keep them forever, right? Then this is the bright rose. You know, probably not the color I'd grow for fall, but certainly it would be in my very early spring planting. That is a really great one. And then I didn't have many of these this week. This is the purple red. This is another great fall color. Really love that. And then y'all, I just wished you could smell this lemon basil. This is our customer's #1 favorite filler. They don't even care if it wilts. They just want it in their bouquet. It's light colored green. Really love that. We succession lemon basil all season long. And then we plan on having the cinnamon basil in the fall because of this dark flower, and the stem is the same color. And this has more of the classic basil fragrance, but that is the cinnamon basil. And then this is just started, and we plant this for fall. This is the cardinal basil, and it is very different. It gets, I'm just looking, it gets a flat, fat flower. This is really a lot of fun to plant for the fall, to plan on having one stem per bouquet, and it just has different looking foliage. It is super sweet. And though all of those are edible as long as you don't put them in flower conditioning products, right? And this is the Jedi Mix. I mean, marigolds in fall, that's kind of like the amaranths, y'all. They just naturally do really well, long lasting, and you do know that it's the foliage that has the fragrance. If you don't like the smell, strip them, because these are super long-lasting, hot colors, great sales. I mean, this is like candy corn, right? For October sales, people love having names of their bouquets, y'all. All right, so this is, we're looking at our zinnias now, and this is the Queen Mix, and just, it's kind of got an antiqued look, right? So that's a really great one for fall. And so the lemon blotch, lime blotch. So this is lime green with a sprig of pink splattered across it. So that is really pretty.
Lime red.
And then here is the red. I mean, think about these colors in fall. I mean, I would grow queens for fall. That's when I would grow them. And they're smaller than the Benary's Giants. And this is the lemon peach, which is really nice. And that could probably be more useful at other times of the year. And then this is the lime orange. And these are all have a very antiqued look to them. And then this is just the Queen Orange. I'm sure that the lime blotch orange were all part of what this is like a smaller orange, which is really nice. And then we have Benary's Giant, y'all. Look at these buys. This is the lilac, with a imposter in the middle there. Oops. So that is the lilac. Benary's Giants are super double, as you can see. They're really nice. Then this is the coral. This is my favorite fall color in the pink world. This is coral, and it's definitely very different. I mean, look at that one. Really love the corals. Then this is a great fall color too. This is the deep red, and I love cutting them when they aren't fully developed yet. Really love. Deep red is one of the fairly new colors. It just joined in the last probably 5 to 10 years. This is wine. And just look how They're just so pretty. People love zinnias. I know flower farmers that really don't like zinnias for a lot of reasons, but I grow what our customers love, and zinnias have always been in the top 10 seed that we sell, as well as flowers that we sold. This is the carmine, and this is, I would describe this as watermelon. The color of the inside of a watermelon is what this looks like. Probably not the greatest fall color, but it is still a great color. But speaking of fall, more orange. Look at these Benares giants. They are so pretty. Look at them from the side. They just have so many layers of petals. Really love them. Then we have the giant yellows, which they're super useful, especially in the fall. You can get that whole southwest thing going, you know, yellow, orange, red, be really nice. And then white, we love the white, and we cut these earlier than later. I like them like this when they're still green in the center, before they've developed any florets, and that is a really great one. I'm building a mountain of zinnias over here. We should take a picture. This is purple. These are all Benares giants. Benares giants, and look at how many petals that has. They are lovely today. And then this is salmon. This is another great color that we can just never have enough of. And I mean, just look at that soft color, which if you're selling to florists that do a lot of events, that would be a really in-demand color. We really love the dark, deep jewel kind of colors. And then this is the bright pink with a little variation. And I just love them when they look like that. That is bright pink, which again might not be the hottest fall color, but for spring. And then there's scarlet. How beautiful they are. Scarlet and yellow and orange. Can't beat it. And then throw a lime green in. This is the Benares Giants lime green. Pretty amazing. Then you can get the Benares Giants in the mix. You don't have to grow them individually, but most people that really start growing them from year to year make their own custom mix. You know, they buy the separate colors. So the mix is available. And then here's my little favorite. These are the Oklahoma zinnias. These are the same kind of structure, but they're just smaller in size, and I really love that. So they just come in a mix, and love all the colors, many of the same colors that you see in the Benares Giants. And then look at the Zowies. Is this not the greatest fall color? Who wouldn't want to have that for fall bouquets? That's Zowie. And then this is one of my personal favorites. This is Uproar Rose. She's not in the Benares lineup. It's a more of a magenta color, incredibly productive. So we really love Uproar Rose. I love pairing these with orange zinnias. They are super sweet. And then friends, we are gonna wrap this up with some sunflowers because they are just looking more beautiful than ever. Now see how big these are? Same spacing, but because the days are longer this time of the year, it makes the blooms start to get bigger. And you just have to put them tighter together if you wanna have smaller flowers. Everybody loves sunflower. These are Pro Cut. This is the Pro Cut mix that has 4 different oranges in it, and we really love it. But I did pull out these from it because I wanted to show you. This is the Pro Cut Brilliance. Can you tell there's kind of a halo? The petals are more yellow than they are orange, and there's this halo around the dark center. They are so much my favorite. When these are blooming out in the field, so if I hold it back, can you kind of tell there's like a circle of orange, then there's yellow? This is one of my really, really favorite ones, particularly to let them open out in the garden, not for cut flowers, but for just growing at home. They are so beautiful in the garden. And then y'all, look at this. This is peach. Look how pretty they are. And look how big they are, bigger than I'd want them. So very, very beautiful. So that's the Pro Cut Peach. All right, friends, remember to stick around because I'm gonna do a Q&A at the very end. And remember that you can check out some of our free resources over at thegardenersworkshop.com. We have lots of videos. We have a blog. There's podcasts over there. And in fact, we have 2 podcasts, Field and Garden. And then we also have Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane. And yesterday's episode that dropped was Cosmo variety comparison. How convenient is that, right? You can get a bigger dose of Cosmos. And this Wednesday, I am hosting Ask a Flower Farmer over on Instagram from 12:30 to 1. I'll try to answer your questions as best I can, as many as I can, and that's over at the Gardener's Workshop Farm on Instagram. And remember that next week, meet us back right here for the live shopping show. And next time, I'm going to be demonstrating the commercial soil blocker, the Swift Blocker. And I'll be doing the Mini 75 and starting those biennial dianthus. All right, friends, so it's time to do our drawing. So I hope that you entered, and we do have a winner here. How do you say her first name? And I'm going to try not to kill your name, okay? Rhodora Robinson. If you're here, Rhodora, you have won the $25 store credit. That is Rhodora Robinson. Give us a big old shout out in the comments. And as soon as you acknowledge that you're here, we'll put a $25 store credit in your cart, ready and waiting for you as soon as you go to check out. And so congratulations. Thank you so much for participating. We just love it when people engage with us. And we just love seeing the comments. Oh, she's here. Congratulations, Rhodora. And so Suzanne or Susie or Jessie or somebody is currently dropping 25 bucks right into your cart. So if you want to take advantage of the 20% off deal of the day, do it by 8 a.m. Sunday morning Eastern time to get 20% off the Cosmos seeds. And thanks so much for being here. All right, so let's take a couple quick. Can I have a paper towel or something? There is water everywhere over here. And I just messed up our giveaway sign. So let's look at a couple questions. Cosmo double click violet bicolor skunked me twice. Not one germinated. The rest of the Cosmos varieties germinated, but only about 50% soil blocked on a heat mat. Is there a secret to better germination? I understand completely what you're saying. Cosmos are not the strongest germinators that I've ever started, indoors or outdoors. And so especially some of these hybrid varieties. So, I mean, for us, you just need to be sure you're not toasting them. So I don't know what your air temperature is like where you're starting them. If you've got the type of heat mat that is tweaked from the air temperature, you just don't want it to be super hot in the room that you're starting in and then putting those those blocks on those. So I'd say lower the temperature just a little bit on the seedling heat mat, which means moving it to cooler air temperatures. We had excellent on the violet this year because I know what you're talking about. Usually we're between like 60 to 80% on Cosmos, which is lower than what we get on most everything else. But we got excellent on violet this year. So yeah, that's what I think we actually figured out. CVBN tabs. When harvesting in a smaller bucket, should tablet be cut in half? Will too strong of a solution damage flowers? That's such a great question. So in fact, the tablets, when they first came out, they were called Gerber tablets, Gerber tabs, because Gerber daisies in the commercial world are the dirtiest of all flowers. They just pollute the water. And in fact, it was recommended for them to put 1 tablet per quart of water. And then as they got more and more widely used and tested, they found that 1 tablet per gallon is very effective for most flowers. So what I'm saying to you is 1 tablet for less amount of water is perfectly fine. That's actually how they came out. I don't know, I don't remember what the word is. Not all pills have the product of, I'm talking about medicine pills, not these chlorine pills. The medicine's not distributed throughout the pills, so you can't cut them in half. I have no idea if that's the case on the CVBN, so I think I'd err on putting a tablet in whatever water you have, whatever volume. I'm having trouble with my Celosia Chief mix and blocks. I have them in my pantry in my house. They seem to be too wet and dampening off. Okay, so to dampening off, for anyone that's not familiar, is a fungus that grows in soil. Most often, dampening off occurs in cool conditions. And if they're staying wet, that's kind of more of an affirmation that it's too cool. You need to, Celosias are heat lovers. I mean, our grow room is probably between 80 and 95 degrees this time of the year, depending on what time of day you go in there. And when you have warmer air temperatures, not only does that drive them to grow, which means they dry out quicker, which means they grow roots faster, and when they have more roots, they suck up more water. So I think you need to warm up your actual air temperature. All right, so how hard should I cut back Monarda for a second flush? So if you're talking about Lambada, we don't grow any other Monarda variety, so I don't know about them. I mean, we make the first cut. I mean, it's based on the way we've cut them all season. So when we cut the first central cut, we cut deep, usually within 6 to 8 inches above ground level, to induce branching, and then we've been cutting all those branches off. So once all the branches are cut, you have a stump about that deep, you know, that's got sprouts on it. So we don't really have to cut it back. I did have a patch here on the farm that didn't get cut like it normally would, and we kind of just went through and literally mowed it, not mowed it, I used a hedge trimmer to just cut it back to that. But if you cut it properly, as you should, which we haven't always done with all of our crops now, then they should already be in that state is what I'm getting at. All right. So this is a really common question, and I'm not sure I have the answer, but I'm going to read it, and we're going to try anyway. What causes zinnia petals to look dirty after one day in a bouquet? They are great when cut and go in CVBN water for conditioning, but some petals darken and look dirty when they go in fresh water. Harvested at wrong time, question mark. So this is one of the reasons that some growers just absolutely hate zinnias, and some florists do, because they can be funky this way. There are so many diseases that zinnias can get, and it really depends on where you are, what the rain, we've had a dry year this year. We have the best zinnias we've ever have grown in years, because water, rain spreads disease, creates the environment that's easy for disease to really take off. There's zinnia meltdown, which is not an official name, but that's what we call it in the cut flower industry, where all of a sudden your zinnias, I mean, you cut them, they're beautiful, you come in the next morning to use them, and they're just mush, you know. The universities have tested them. There's disease present out in your field, and it just happens when the weather conditions are conducive to that. So I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you, but you're right along with the rest of the world. So if you're having a wet season, that's definitely probably the fuel for the problem. But zinnias are just that way. And that's one of the reasons that we became such great straw flower growers, is because when we stopped putting zinnias into supermarket bouquets. Supermarket bouquets have to last a lot longer. You know, they sit in the supermarket and because that kind of stuff would happen. Straw flowers are a great stand-in. So I'm going to answer this one that Jesse just added. I think I'm cutting my zinnias too early. How can I make sure I'm not cutting them too early? I know people say to use the wiggle test, but sometimes they are stiff when I know they aren't ready yet. All right, so first off, I don't do the wiggle test either. I mean, wiggle test is great, I guess, for people that are trying to learn, but we've just never done that. When I was showing you those zinnias, so this one is really, really well developed. When I'm walking up to a bed of zinnias, I can remember talking about this at programs, and I had some great pictures that showed this. When I'm walking up to a big, long bed of zinnias that need to be cut, while I'm walking up, I can already look down that row and see all the zinnias, that I have a lot of zinnias to cut. Because when I look at them from the side view, This is a little bit more developed than what I want. Well, actually, it still looks pretty good on the top. See how it's not got florets yet? I prefer to cut them before they get those florets because it just changes the whole look of the flower. Like this one. See how that's got the florets already in the middle there? I mean, that's fine, but I want them before they look that way. So when I'm looking at them from the side, I'm looking at the depth of the development of the flowers. And I mean, when a zinnia only has like that many from the side, then I'll look at it and say, are you really ready? You know, we cut twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. And if you don't get cut on Monday, in my mind, what I'm thinking, if I don't cut you today, will you be old, in my book, by Thursday? And then I cut it most often. And so when you say you're cutting them too early, I would say, is that because they're getting wiggly and soft? You know what I mean? Are they wilting? It just takes experience. And you just need to cut, you know, I would say go out and cut 50 zinnias at different stages and have 5 vases, and you need to put them in your house and watch them. And that's really how I learned how to grow and to actually cut great. I mean, we sold the heck out of zinnias to florists, and it was because of my stage to harvest. There's no question about that. So hope that helps you, but you're not alone. All right, so here's somebody's sister. Are you looking at this? Bring that over here. I bought a pith helmet. I cannot figure out how to adjust the band. The Velcro seems to be attached facing the wrong way. I'm sure it's just, so Suzanne's going to show you how to adjust the band for the pith
This
helmet.
Velcro seems to be facing the correct way. It's facing each other. So this is the little loopy side, and then this is the fuzzy side. So if yours is not like that, please let us know and we'll take care of that for you. But it's, yeah, it's facing the right direction. So just, I tagged you, info@thegardenersworkshop.com. Just contact Ann, takes care of that for us. And if yours is not facing the right direction, then we'll get that worked out for you. Thanks so much.
All right, friends, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap up some of these flowers. They're going to our organization that we donate flowers to, and we're going to dry some flowers, and we're getting ready to have a thunderstorm, so we're pretty happy around here. All right, friends, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you Wednesday on Ask a Flower Farmer. Ciao.